Don't you want to see more women running for mayor and governor who will put our families first? Don't you want to see more women running for Congress who will follow in the footsteps of Barbara Mikulski and champion equal pay and equal opportunity? And I suppose it's only fair to say, don't you someday want to see a woman president of the United States of America?
Oh, here we go. Second time around for the Friday Arena. First up, she's a contributor at EpicTimes.com, the website run by our good friend and syndicated radio talker Jerry Doyle. She's also author of Dirty Words on Clean Skin, Sexism and Sabotage, a Hillary Supporter's Rude Awakening, Anita Finlay. And next, veteran GOP analyst and communications strategist for the Victory Group, Adam Goodman. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you so much, Ed. Great to be back with you.
Boy, Anita, hearing those words and then knowing that Hillary Clinton is going to apply and she's going to announce for president on Sunday, I can only imagine how thrilled you are, how prepared you are, and how absolutely behind her you are at every sense of the imagination. Please stop me before I hurt myself.
No. Ed, you could never hurt yourself, not while I'm around. You know why I'm most excited that she's finally announcing her candidacy? Because now we don't have to deal with the media vacuum, trying to fill the void with all of their ridiculous speculation, tea leaf reading, and all the phony narrative they're trying to make up about her, because they have long tried to define Hillary Clinton. I think it's time that she connects with the American people once again, and I think that's what she's doing by announcing her campaign on Twitter as she's on the road to Iowa, so that she sends the message that, you know what, this campaign is about you, the American people, and I'm reaching past media. I don't have to deal with talking heads. I'm just going to reach out directly to you. So I think that's what she's doing.
Anita, after the book you wrote and what you know, look America in the eye right now and tell them the one thing that they need to know about Hillary Clinton from your experience that they don't think about or get told enough about.
That she has worked 40 years on behalf of the issues that matter to them. She's worked on behalf of education. She started out working as an advocate with the Children's Defense Fund. She's gotten benefits for first responders and military families. And these are the things that I think she's also worked very hard to raise the minimum wage. These are things that matter to them. They have to remember that she was prescient on predicting the economic fallout with the mortgage-backed securities and all of that falling together, that no one wanted to pay attention when she raised the death knell about that in 2005.
All right.
Those are the things they need to know.
All right, Adam, on the other side of things, from the GOP strategist side, knowing full well what Anita just said, which is obviously going to be the message that will be pushed forward, what does the GOP and her opponents need to do to strike back?
Well, here's why Hillary is doing what she's doing now. She didn't plan on really announcing, in my opinion, this early. I think she had a bit of a rude awakening with reality when she would face the cameras in the country over the emails and the email controversy. And she really showed herself not really ready at this moment for prime time. You would think, gosh, with her experience, her background, I can tell you that as someone that has worked on campaigns now for nearly 40 years, that really aged me, that any candidate, whether that candidate's a first-time candidate or has been campaigning for 40 years, they need time to ramp up and get on message and get on their game. Hillary Clinton is neither right now. At a time when Americans, and you saw that, Ed, in the last election, Americans are looking for something fresh. They're looking for something that connects to leadership in the future, not something that is wedded to the past. And I think that Hillary and her team finally woke up to the fact they've got to get going, they got to get going now, or their introduction may be far too late, and the impact of that reintroduction may fall far too short as she starts to seek the presidency.
Adam, I got a little bit less than 45 seconds left here before we take a break, come back and talk more. But in your strategy side of things, would you then look at the GOP and say, yes, continue to drill away on Benghazi, no, back away from it because the American public's tired?
Well, I do think there are a lot of things, Ed, that Hillary has to answer for. And I don't think she's completely answered those questions, and those will come in due course. What the Republicans have to do right now, frankly, is not run against Hillary. They have to run for the future. They've got to show that they've got a candidate that's going to emerge from this nomination process that can carry a message that's fresh, relevant, and future-oriented. And that in and of itself, Ed, contrasts beautifully against the Hillary Clinton candidacy.
We have so much to talk about.
Wow. We sure do.
I don't know why, but I just got a feeling that Anita all of a sudden says, I got to get to this. Tell you what, Anita.
Don't you worry.
I'm going to give you a chance. We got one more segment to go in here. We're going to take a break, come back, talk on the other side. We have a lot of little things to take care of here in this section of the arena. For instance, Carly Fiorina, and people are saying she is a very serious possible alternative to Hillary Clinton. Some say that's foolish. Rand Paul's taking a lot of criticism from the GOP right now in the media. And oh yeah, what about this guy named Christie? We'll talk about that and more when we continue with the arena right here next. We have a response coming, I believe. First up, author of Dirty Words on Clean Skin, Sexism and Sabotage, a Hillary supporter's rude awakening, Anita Finlay, and veteran GOP analyst and communications strategist for the Victory Group, Adam Goodman. Before we move on, then, Anita, I give you the floor because you've been chomping at the bit now through a break.
Well, Hillary Clinton is announcing exactly when she wants to announce. And as far as this email kerfuffle, this is another faux scandal that's drummed up by media types and Republicans. And
why is it a faux scandal, though, Anita, if you don't mind my asking? Because if indeed there was something there that was done, and if there are emails missing, and if there indeed is something of a cover-up, why is it just a media-made scandal?
There's no cover-up. She submitted 55,000 pages of emails to the State Department. I will tell you that when she had that personal server, that was perfectly legal to do, and it was under the person at the State Department. Anyone working there, they have the same prerogative she did. If something is a personal email, they have the right to determine that. They have the right to delete it. Her email was not hacked, even though the State Department's emails were hacked, and the law that people are accusing her of breaking was not passed until 2 years after she stepped down as Secretary of State. So if you're looking for scandal, don't worry, they'll invent more. But the fact of the matter is this woman is a patriot who was working very hard as Secretary of State on behalf of the American people. Whether one supports her or not, you know, she stepped down with a 68% popularity from that position. So I think it's fair to say people know how hard she was working on their behalf. And they look at all this email stuff as, really? I mean, this is what we're concerned about.
Well, let me stop you there, Anita, because I want to hit on that, and I want to get right now to Adam on this, because, again, I'm going to come back to Benghazi on this. We're going to probably do the whole thing on this, but it's an interesting conversation to where maybe not go after Benghazi. And, Adam, should the GOP spend more time looking at issues than they should be worrying about Benghazi and emails? Let those all play out. But if you're going to attack somebody, attack them on the issues instead, so that you don't basically fatigue the American people with the over and over again.
Ed, you're right on about that. I mean, and in due time, in the course of a presidential campaign, you might say everything comes out. So it's not like we have to begin and end in any particular sequence. All this will be vetted, all this will be debated, and all this will be assessed by the American public. What people are really looking for, and I address this to Anita too, Anita, what people are looking for today is authenticity. They're looking for people who are real. They're looking for those who are going to get the job done. I agree with you, Anita, that she is a patriot. I think she's given a lot of time and service to this country, and she certainly deserves due credit for that. But I can also tell you that Hillary, in announcing as she's going to by Twitter, I think that's a calculated move to basically control the event of the announcement, which I think she's very uncomfortable with in terms of the press and media. Clearly, they're uncomfortable increasingly with her as well, from lack of access, from lack of responsiveness, and you cannot seek the top position in this country with all the importance that's attached to that without being willing to grapple with and look people in the eye about the most serious questions we've got, and she's got to do that on better than a Twitter feed announcing she's going to seek an office.
All right, I only got 60 seconds left. Anita, I got to stop because I got 60 seconds left, and I want to get you all real quick hitters on these questions. Yes or no, and a quick comment. First of all, Anita, is Carly Fiorina a real alternative?
No. She isn't, because her only accomplishment is running HP, where she lost 18,000 jobs, sent jobs overseas, and had a disastrous merger with Compaq. I think that she's going to be trapped in trying to use the GOP talking points, but I really don't see her as a credible alternative. Susana Martinez of the GOP would be much more credible, and I'm surprised they're not putting her forward.
And Adam, to you, then I'm going to change it because I only got 30 seconds left. Is Chris Christie's campaign over before it begins?
I think he's moving from Bridgegate to having to bridge the gap between what he's always been and come off as, which is real and authentic, and someone who's seeking the presidency and trying to appeal more and more to the conservative base. There's rumors that indictments might be coming out as early as next week over Bridgegate. He's got a tall mountain to climb, but the biggest thing that happened to Chris Christie, in my opinion, was Jeb Bush. And I think when Jeb Bush got in the race, I think that took a lot of the wind out of his sails.
I love this season. It is going to be so much fun as we head towards November 2016. Two of my favorite people, Anita, Finlay, Adam Goodman. Thank you so much for joining us in the arena. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Adam. Thank you, Ed.
All right, take care. This week, a special anniversary for one of the greatest comedies to be carried across the pond by either an African or European swallow. And don't tell me you've already got one. That's coming up next, right here on MidPoint.